corner. Okay. So I have to access the ridge cap to get the actual back of the seal off. Check all the fasteners. There's one crooked nail. Probably fixed. Nails are seated. One more crooked nail. You gotta pull. Alright. Now this part will have to be nailed back down too. And to do that, actually, as you can see, look. So we're gonna have to take this course and this course and this ridge cap up. Otherwise, we're gonna be going over a previous nail. So we're gonna try to be as gentle as possible. Take the shingle, put it off to the side for now. I'm gonna find where this one, so this one starts on this side and ends right there. So we gotta get rid of the shingle. And so now the only way to do that is by taking the ridge cap off. So manipulate the ridge cap in such a way to be able to get this off. Obviously with this, a little bit more gentle process, we'll probably want to use a paint blade. Kind of help break the seal, and that way we don't gouge the shingle. That's going to be extremely hard to do right there. Just try to get just one up here. There we go. All right, so I got that free from its fastener. I'm just trying to get that peeled up. See, if we're not careful, it would be a domino effect, and we'd have to do the whole ridge right now. As you can see, as I'm trying to break this ridge seal, it's just tearing. I'm not holding it at such an angle to try to gouge it. Okay. I'm just gonna get this one, Blue Street seal. Obviously the sealant has become calcified, and that's why it's becoming so difficult to try to separate the two. Okay. Now we've got that off, this can work a little bit. See, it just tears. It's so calcified. As you can look at it, it's rock hard. So remnants of this one out at least. Okay. See how it's snowballing into each next one. All right. Well, this is our working area. So get these nailed out. You can see the tar transfer right there, and that's kind of going on across the board as well. You can see the back of that, and here's one of the field shingles as well. As you can see, the shingle overlaps the ridge, and this one overlaps underneath of it. It's a water shedding measure. Obviously, you know, ridge bends came along a lot after this fact, so they didn't learn that technology until a little bit later. When we have this application, we have to do the exact same thing, where we have to overlap the ridge by 4 to 6 inches. What we'll do is we'll try to get this one loose. Get under these, maybe that'll help her claws a little bit. This one is right here. Attach. Come on. Now, if I were to leave this intact, as I'm going to take this shingle up, I'll kind of exemplify what I'm going to show. If I leave this shingle intact down here, now I have unaccounted for nail penetrations, and we're essentially having to reuse the shingle, which is a contradictory to R9085, in which you have to. You see, if I lap the shingle over and I don't punch those holes exactly where they're at right now, I still push ones like that. I mean, how am I supposed to hit those holes again, right? So then water could penetrate potentially underneath the seam, underneath here, come here, and then we have a maintenance issue that did not exist prior to the loss. So obviously at this point it would be pretty reasonable to expect that we'd have to replace this whole ridge cap. Obviously we're going to do our best to scab it back in, but yeah, let's try to get this shingle finally out right here, and then obviously we can get the other course right there, lay it over. Try to save this ridge cap right here as much as possible. It's becoming a little difficult. All these nails are extremely oxidized too. So a good idea. You can see that they've already been taking on moisture in one sense or the other. So that's why this water shedding measure where we overlap the ridge is kind of imperative. Because even when you think everything is fine, very well might not be. All right. We still gotta actually take that piece of ridge cap off. There we go. Now we're good.
Watch your head with that antenna.
Huh?
Watch your head with the antenna.
All right, sir. So technically, can't reuse these ridge cap shingles either. Obviously, since they've already been nailed through twice as well. So all these exposed holes would have to be dealt with, and they, again, potential area for leaks to occur. And finally getting to the end of this shingle right here. As you can see, still, the nails are almost getting more and more oxidized as we go a little bit further. Now we finally found the end of the shingle, so we'll go ahead and get this up. Obviously we want to pull these oxidized ones up. You can put the nails back in, definitely want to, but I don't think you can safely put those guys in as they've kind of lost their gripping strength. So we'll see what we got here. Yeah, that's probably pulled those. I don't want to create more damage than we have to here. Oh, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and use that one as is. But as an example, you can see, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, maybe roughly 20 nail holes that are going to be unaccounted for as I cover this back up, as you're going to be able to see. So now as we kind of sat on this shingle has kind of started to wear a little bit. Just from me just kind of sitting on it, obviously try to be more careful. But now you can see, now here's our other problem. So now I told you how it overlapped both ways. See this top course, this last course overlaps this way. Second course overlaps under this side. So now we're directly affecting this side as we're having to pull these nails too. maybe we can get away with pulling the ridge cap nails and covering them up, or as you guys would like to say, but at the same time, we would need to now take this shingle off, and then we can't reuse that. So that would be our argument for the coverage for the back side here, where there was no coverage, and we have all the coverage on this side. So as you can see now, we're affecting this other side now in two different ways. Not only these nail holes, which is R9085, but also these, and then the overlap of the shingle 2 times different ways. So now we're gonna take this shingle off. Actually, it's kind of interesting. So the felt, it's kind of melded to the shingle that overlaps on the other side of this. And I was tearing it. So this is from heat rising to the highest point here in the attic. So that's why it probably got more significantly hot up here at the point. And so now, yeah, we might have to staple that felt down too. Now, as you can see too, these nail holes that we were talking about, they don't just go through one layer of shingles and sit nowhere. Now you can see the felt that overlaps that runs through there. The shingle that sits under here, it runs through there. And then obviously if I lift this up, you can see nail holes, nail holes, nail holes. So those are all potential points for penetration of water now. Even if we do cover this back up, which now we are finally getting ready to do. We just have to remove this last shingle very gently, of course. And we'll have to take out that nail right there too. But now, again, you can see the snowball effect of this. Now we're about 3 foot of ridge cap. And now we're starting to affect this shingle, which is looking like it's going to have to be refastened as well. Again, not what you want, because again, it's going to be a different nail penetration point. So yeah, we're getting to the bottom of the shingle finally. Maybe we can coax it out, like bring this nail with. And here we are. All right, so now we finally have the repair area ready to make the repair, not just removing the shingles. And we've already removed now, what, about 3 or 4 shingles and about 3 foot of ridge cap, 3 or 4 full shingles too. A couple of them came out in pieces. And there's oxidized nails just about everywhere. What we'll do is we'll start from the bottom up and make it life a little easier here. Again, sometimes it's going to require the manipulation of a lot of these shingles around it. As you know, a roof is installed as a system, not in a part. Oh yeah, now we got tying into this guy as well. The more you're directly affecting, that's kind of the novelty of these 3 tabs. Is that you gotta affect a bunch of shingles just like any shingle around it. Make sure we got all the nails out of our area right here that we need. Just kind of trying to get it up there so it follows the same shadow line. And that's about where we want it right there. Sometimes when you run old hardwood roof decks, the new electronic nail guns don't want to fully seat the nail, so that's why we're doing that. Now, as you can see, this one's going to overlap. So we're going to want to nail it, you know, about there. There, and up there. Again, we're gonna have to see how this nail's a little jarred. Just have to seat it a little bit. There you go. That one's fine. That one looks fine too. Now we'll do on the back side here. Right about where we want it. Something that one it doesn't like. Now we can start putting ridge cap on. So, as you can see, I got one nail kind of left over here that I gotta manipulate out. But we are up there, but now you can see why we're gonna need access to this other side, because now we've already gone into coverage for it. And it looks like, you know, as we get close, as we repair more shingles on this roof, on this slope, as they're requesting, then we would have, even if we were at full replacement here, then we're having to affect more and more of this area on the backside. It's going to create more damage.